Going to go into all the details today, but I do want to hear the story. Mom, talk to me about this ship's thing.
So this was a ship's captain's candle. So if you were in port, you can tighten this up and it stays steady just on the desk.
Nice. And then what happens when you set sail?
But when you set sail, as the ship rocks,
Ooh,
this
stays level.
The bottom stays on the desk, and the other one stays level, and the captain can write.
Or she. I guess there were no she captains. Maybe there were a couple pirate lady captains.
There were no lady captains.
Now, what about when it's on the wall, though? Did they also set it up where there would be...
No.
You don't think that little hole, though?
I guess it could be.
Right? Put it back on the wall for a second. So now it could also be to the side of you, and the ship's rocking.
Right.
The ship's rocking like this. Well, that wouldn't move. You see, the ship rocks.
But you can turn this so that it goes that way. This completely turns.
When would you need it to turn that way, though? I think you want it straight up and down.
I guess if it's on the, you're right.
But this is what I love, is that it's just sitting on your desk.
Okay,
Okay, so what are some of the other super exotics? You've
okay,
got
so
these
this
rakes.
this one is pretty neat. This is called a candle keep, and it's made out of tin. And inside, you would keep your candles, and because of the tin, and it was hanging up, the mice that came into log cabins, into houses, because they weren't completely tight, could not get in.
Love that. So give me the 30-second sort of just what they are. Shears. For what? Cutting flax or...
Or this one is for, this is sugar, a cone of sugar, and this is the shears to cut the sugar. And you also, so you cut off a piece of the sugar with this.
Because sugar is not powdery.
No,
it's all chunked.
It's a chunk. And then this piece right here, after you've cut it off, if you want to break it up, you just hit it with this
smart.
piece at the end.
Okay.
But
So we're not going to do the full detail on this tour. What's the rake for?
the rake is
hay, maybe?
for hay.
Okay. What's
Right.
this stuff down here?
Those are some different. That's lavender.
Gotcha.
It was grown in the kitchen, and it was a moth repellent, which was really good.
Oh, for keeping the house from
It's keeping
moths that eat your clothes.
right, and you can also make a tea out of it.
Looks like wheat here.
This got the shaft out of it. This is the most incredible thing.
Ice.
So you would get in the lakes would freeze and become ice. This is a saw to cut the ice.
Right, you'd stick it down
You
towards
stick it
the
down
water.
and cut the ice.
What's that thing do with the little fork?
That is to break the chunks apart. And then this one, you would have a whole bunch of people, after that was cut, taking the blocks and put them in a house to store them for the
Great tool
for the
because
summer.
because the gravity, like when your hands
And this
compress,
one, and
keeps
this
this
one
pin.
has, this one has some initials on, because in some of the areas you would have a lot of people working, and then when they stop to take a break, they just put their tool down and
Where are these initials?
way up at the top, over
On this side?
on the other side, I guess.
I don't see them in here.
I think it's on the other side.
Maybe on the back.
Doesn't matter. Okay, let's not do every tool for this particular tour. There's a horn. I don't know what that does.
That's for powder horn, to keep the powder dry.
For your gunpowder.
The horn also would be, you could soak it and you would cut it and you would put it on top of what they called a horn book, which was a paddle with the ABCs on top of it, and then this would be like our laminate now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What are these things?
That's to darn the sock, and this is after you wash the wooden sock.
So you
put it
stick
on
this
frame.
in to sew from the
You
inside.
stick this in so that you can sew back and forth.
Good. What's this thing do? Catches the end of the needle?
Yeah.
Okay, clamps.
This is for a quilting frame.
Good, holds the fabric. And then this is your whaling set.
This is the whole whaling set. So this one is really cool. It is a mallet that you would use to hammer, but there's some slits underneath. So when you hammer, instead of having this bang bang terrible noise, it gives a humming sound. So it's not quite so.
What are these?
And
Almost like a
this is-
chisel, right?
These are to put the oakum into the boards of the ship.
So you carve
So
a
you-
little
So
slot?
the oakum was actually made out of pine, what do you call it?
It has a
Sap.
sap, yeah, so the sap helps waterproof it.
Yeah,
Air damper, this is for what, starting fires?
starting the fires in the fireplace.
Mule
This is a yoke for
yokes?
people.
Oh, human yoke, not for, because I was gonna say, the mule ones, or oxen, are much bigger. So, but this, you'd put this, or this is where your neck is,
That's where your
and your
neck is.
shoulders.
This one doesn't have a shoulder neck. Then we'll do one last one down here, which I think is truly fantastic. This is one piece of metal that the blacksmith cut from here, pulled it out, and it stores the seed corn during the winter. And this can hang from the rafter so that the mice can't get to the seed corn.
We're already on this wall, let's keep going, I love that. This looks like it's for toasting.
This is the toasting. It's a
Bread.
kickstand because you can just kick it.
Oh, it spins.
Right. This is for herbs. This is for
Oh, you
the-
just would hold it, like, later, instead of a knife, you just kind of.
yeah, back and forth. This is to scoop out. It has a really nice shape to scoop out the butter in a butter churn.
Wow. Planes, this is woodworking section
Yeah.
of your collection, and a wrench. What's in there?
This keeps salt. It's a salt box.
And these break up the salt, or what are those chisels
Those
for?
are chisels. Just a place to keep the
Okay,
chisels.
good. I think this is a cranberry scoop, as
This
I
is a
read.
cranberry
Thank you for
scoop.
labeling this stuff.
Some of them. This is a bucket for.
And the idea here is the cranberries float on the water.
No.
Or no, that's not what
This-
it's for?
When you, real cranberries in the old days were just a bush, and you would go through the bush with this, and
Oh,
there was no
super
water.
smart.
They didn't do the water. So this is making, guess what?
Leaves?
No,
No, what's the question? Maple syrup?
this is maple syrup. So this gets,
Oh, this when you were teaching, this is what you would bring into the
Yes.
class to show the kids. That's
so
smart.
this gets pounded into the tree, and then the sap goes into the bucket.
Yeah, it's like bleeding the tree basically, slowly.
Right, and it takes 1 quart to make about, wait a minute, this I can't remember.
Doesn't matter the science behind it. Let's keep going. We're gonna just cover the top of the wall here. So we have a drill. Is that for drilling into ice, or what's that for?
The drill is to, you drill in and then you put a peg in when you're putting 2 pieces of wood together.
Oh, so it's not a ice machine. It's for carpentry.
Right. This
And
is
then
all
a
carpet.
plane, right? You kind of pull that, a pull plane. What are these things?
Those are more planes.
Oh, I see there's an edge there.
This is for cutting corn.
Or for just like chopping off someone's head. Some of these,
Corn.
you know, I'm glad you have security at the building. These are weaponizable. These are all. Someone could misinterpret this as a non-education, but like a really dangerous place. Okay, what are those for carrying?
Those are for hooking up carcasses.
like a deer or an elk?
And this one's pretty nice because it was just made from the blacksmith with just a piece of metal.
Also more. This is all for more animal stuff. This looks like you'd be hauling something with it because it's longer. It has a handle.
Yeah, this is to scrape the ice off the hoof of a horse. Horse's
Good.
hoof, yeah.
And then this is a more agrarian.
Right, and this one is pretty nice because you could, if you were moving from like the south out to the west, you couldn't take too many things. You could take this one piece to plow the garden, but you could also take the flat piece on the top and cook corn cakes.
By setting it on the fire?
By setting it on the fire, you could.
But what about, doesn't the handle burn?
No.
You just don't put it on the real hot flames. It's
Right,
like
you
over the
put it on
coals.
on the coals.
Okay, we're gonna go down here to a well pulley.
Okay.
That's
which
for getting
is-
the water out of the.
Yeah. pulling it
So
up.
funny. And then you got some hammers here.
Bunch of hammers.
This is more carpentry and just general trade work. Maybe with horses too. There's a hoof, I mean whatever, horseshoe.
Horseshoe.
Nails made by a blacksmith. Mom, this is an awesome collection. Thank you for the
Oh,
quick
and
tour.
this one, this was, one last one. So this was used by the person the lamplighter who lit the lamps all through the town.
All right, so they would reach up
You could reach up with that.
and they would, that would have, this would be
So
on
you
fire.
You would, and the wick goes the whole way down.
Oh, so it would last longer. You wouldn't have to
So it
keep
would last.
relighting a match each time you
Right,
lit it. Okay,
done.
A+. Give me a thumbs up. Keep up good work.